What is going on? In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect a Slack node within n8n. This one was surprisingly a little bit more involved than I thought it would be. It's not too crazy, and I'll show you exactly how to do it step by step, but it does require a couple extra steps, so we'll go ahead and get into it. So this is what it looks like in n8n. It's really simple. There's the trigger, which triggers the actual workflow, connect an agent, and I have the OpenAI chat model connected to the agent. And then this is Slack as well, and this is the message you're going to get back. So the way the workflow works is within Slack, you'll send a message and you'll tag the bot. That will then send a message to the agent, which is going to receive the message and use OpenAI to analyze it, and then craft a response back. And then it's going to send the response back to you in Slack, responding to your specific question. So really simple workflow, but a little bit more involved to set up, which I will show you in just a moment. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create this trigger, right? And this is the Slack trigger. This is directly in n8n. You can just search Slack, click it here, and then there's all these different triggers. And for this one, it's going to be a message. So the trigger is going to be send a message, right? Anytime that we send a message and tag the bot, which you'll see in here, it's going to trigger this. So if we go and open this, you see it's trigger on bot/app mention. So that just means every time that we send a message within Slack, and we mention the bot that we created, it's going to tag it and it's going to create this workflow. And I'll show you what it looks like real quick, and then we'll actually get into how we build it. So you just hit execute workflow and you'll see it says waiting for you to create an event in Slack. So all we do in Slack is we go in, we tag n8n, we ask it a question. We'll say, how are you doing today? So that sends a message and it tags the bot. You go back to your workflow and you see that now it sends to the agent and it gives us a message back. And so now we'll go back into Slack and we have a response. I'm just a program, but I'm here and I'm ready to help you. How can I assist you today? So as you can see, the only way that this actually triggers and works is if you tag the bot in Slack and send it the message. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment, but that's what it looks like from a high level overview. So one quick fix. I know I said we're going to trigger on a Slack message, but for the trigger, it's actually going to be on bot app mention. So this one right here, you would just select this and that's what we're going to use as the trigger. But now let's actually go into how we set this up in Slack. So first thing you're going to want to do, if you haven't signed up for Slack, just sign up. It's simple, easy to do. If you are already signed up, you're just going to want to create a new workspace right here. As you can see, I created one as a test called n8n. And there's a couple things you want to do here, but the first thing is we're going to do add apps. So you click add apps here. As you can see, I have the n8n app right here. But if you don't have this, it'll just take you through a quick little step-by-step tutorial on how to do it. And so once you do that, it's going to take you to the Slack API. And as you can see in here, it's going to prompt you to create a new app. So you'll do that. It'll take you through a little series, but this is what it looks like when it's done. So app name right here, n8n, and we're just going to click through this. And it's going to give you a couple things. I know there's a lot here, but I'll show you exactly what you need to get. So we're going to go back into the Slack trigger. We're going to hit open. And this is where you actually connect with your account. So you can see I have this API connected here. So what you're actually going to want to do here is go down here on the left side where it says OAuth and permissions, and you're going to click that. And then you'll go down here and you see bot user OAuth token. And this is what we need to actually give authorization to the bot to work within Slack. And you see I have it already installed, but basically you will just click this, copy it, go back to Slack, and then this will prompt you whenever you're connecting your API, you'll hit new credential and the access token just goes right here. So you just paste it in there and you'll be connected. And so if we go back to the API, there's a couple of things you need to do. You need to add actual scopes to the bot token. And as you can see, I added all of these here. I ran into some issues getting mine to actually work properly, but the main ones that you need are app mentions read, channels history, channels join, channels read, chat write. I also have groups read and assistant write, which I think you need as well. But this is all the ones that I have. It can't hurt to add more than what you think you need. But the main one is a couple of these that I mentioned earlier. So make sure you have all those scopes good to go, and it will give authorization to your bot to actually interact within Slack in n8n. So now we're back in Slack, and we're going to go back to the channel that we want to add the bot to. And all you do here is you would tag the bot. So if you name it n8n, you would tag it and you would say something. But you'll notice when you do this for the first time, it's going to say that the bot is not in this channel, you have to invite it first. So all you would do, you just tag it, you say something, it's going to prompt you and say, do you want to invite this app? And you say yes, and then it'll be in the channel, and then you can do it again and ask it a question. So now the next thing we need to do is we're going to go back to n8n, and you'll see right here, this is where we need to actually get the webhook. And so there's test URL in production. For this example, we're just going to use test, but as soon as you publish this and you're in production, you're going to want to use that one. So we go to test URL, and we just are going to copy this, go back to the API, and then over here on the left, right under OAuth and permissions, just hit event subscriptions. And this is where you're going to paste in this webhook URL. And so as you can see, mine is already verified, but you would go up here, you would turn enable events on, paste this in. And then one other thing under subscribe to bot events, just add app mention. And again, this just means that every time you mention the app, it's going to allow it to talk to the app, talk to the workflow, and respond to you. Now that we have that set up, let's go back into n8n and let's take a look at how to set up the actual workflow, because this can be a little bit tricky if you don't understand what you're doing. So we'll go to open, and I'll just show you my configuration for each step to make sure that you have everything you need step by step to get this set up the right way. So starting from the top down, we have the webhook URL. I just showed you how to connect that. Then we have the credentials. Make sure that you're connected to the right Slack account. Again, that was what I showed you earlier. Trigger on, we're going to do bot/app mention. This setting to watch the whole workspace turned on. I'm not sure if you actually need that on, but I turned it on just because. And so that's what it looks like for the actual trigger. So now we'll go into the agent. So we're going to open up the agent. And as you can see in here, source for prompt, user message, we have as defined below. And so down here, basically what we're just taking here is the actual text from the message that we send in Slack. So again, we're sending a message manually in Slack. That's going to trigger this, which will then talk to the agent, which will then reason and come up with a response, which will then send back. That is the workflow in a nutshell. And so what we do for this is we essentially are just taking the text from what we're sending in Slack and using that to reason and come up with an answer. And so all you do for that is you pull this. So it's JSON. All you do is you click this, drag and drop it. And that's basically going to tell it to dynamically come up with a response based on whatever it is you asked it. So that's what the setup looks here. Then we'll go down to OpenAI model. This is simple and straightforward. Again, you just connect whatever your OpenAI model is. If you use DeepSeek or something else, you can do that as well. But this is really straightforward. And then so now finally for the output, we're going to click open. There's a couple things we need to have correct in here. Again, you're going to need credentials to connect with. So for this, I used OAuth. And if we hit create new credential, you can see it here. You would just hit connect my account. You can also do an access token similar to how I showed you before. If you have any questions on that or are stuck in this step, just comment on this video and I'll show you how to do it. But next we have resource. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to reconnect this. Next we have resource and it's going to be message. Then we have operation is going to be send because we want to send a message back. Send message to a channel. And then from the list, this is where the list of different channels will pop up. And I have all n8n selected as the test channel. Then message type, we're going to do simple text message. And then for the text, it's going to be another JSON. And this again will just be derived from the actual input. And so as you can see here, because it's connected to the agent, you come over here to input and then you'll just drag this. This is the output. So this is what it's actually responding back. You'll just click this, drag it over here, and then now it's going to dynamically create an answer and provide it in Slack. And so that's what this looks like. And that is it in a nutshell. So again, we'll hit execute workflow. It's going to wait for you to send a message, go back to Slack. Who is the founder of Meta? And we're going to go back and now you're going to see it start to trigger. Might take a second. Everything executes perfectly and we'll go back and we'll get a response. Founder of Meta, formerly known as Facebook, is Mark Zuckerberg. And it gives us a little blurb. That is the Slack chatbot in a nutshell. That's how you connect it, get everything authorized. If you have any questions or run into any problems, because believe me, I did when I was setting this up, comment on the video. I can make a more specific video. I can take you through the step-by-step process from scratch. Whatever's helpful, let me know. I appreciate you watching the video. I appreciate you taking the time to like, subscribe. It really helps me out. So yeah, that is it in a nutshell, and I'll see you on the next one.